Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. One of the most important things you can have in this hobby is knowledge. And unfortunately, there are not a lot of books being published on the hobby itself. Some of the best books have been out of print for a little while now. The books that I'm talking about, Don Kelly's books, for instance. He's got one on obsolete currency. Once again, it's out of print. That obsolete book, if you go to a show, you might be able to find one for about $75 or so. Don Kelly also did a book on nationals. That national book at the show I was at was selling for over $125. Once again, it's out of print. But with that national book, you're getting information on 15,000 different banks. And imagine seeing a national priced at $350, and you've got that nationals book, and you look it up, and you see that that particular note is actually worth closer to $550 because of how rare that particular bank is. By making that one purchase, you just covered the price of that book. And that is just using the information of one of those 15,000 banks. So yeah, it may sting a little bit to fork out that money at first, but now you've got that reference forever. Just to be able to find that stuff, to find that information is so important. There's different ways that you can subscribe to things. There's track and price, for instance, but with track and price, you're talking a subscription. And the subscription price for that is about the same as just buying one of those books. With the book, you always have it. And it's always just it's there in your hand. I know a lot of people like all the electronic stuff, but there's something about having that book. A lot of people were also asking me about the small size paper money book, the 10th edition, and if the 11th edition would be coming out any soon. And it was done by Kraus Publications, and Kraus Publications, I don't want to say is defunct, but they are dormant, so there is no news at all on a new edition of Small Money of the United States. So, yeah, trying to find that book also can get expensive. Is it a good book? Yes, it is. There's a lot of good books in the hobby. It's just unfortunate that most of them are out of print. So, yeah, if you do have the opportunity to pick one up, once again, information is how you succeed in this hobby. All right, let's slide these out of the way. I'm still going through Vegas stuff. These are the higher end notes, and the higher end notes, let's see, where'd they come from? Here it is. The higher end places, this is my thought on going to high end places versus the lower end places. The lower end places, and downtown, for instance, you have people that are saving up their singles and putting 20 singles into a slot machine and hoping to hit something big, or something to that effect. You have people who don't have a lot of money who may bring in a bunch of singles to risk those. Whereas when you go to the high end places, have to order a bunch of singles to use as change for everybody who's spending $100 bills. So it's always been my impression that when you go to the high-end places, you're most likely actually just getting stuff from the Federal Reserve. Whereas when you go to the lower-end places, you're getting stuff from circulation. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's the way I seem to view it. So I didn't have a whole lot of hopes for the high-end places, but let's take a look and see what we got. Starting with a Where's George. This Where's George note I actually got from a strap from the Palazzo. Oh, I should probably read off the whole list. The list would be Paris, Fontainebleau, M Resorts, Green Valley, Cosmopolitan, Venetian, Resorts World, Cromwell, and Palazzo. Those were the high-end places. So like I said, Palazzo, I got a Where's George, so I will log that, see what happens. Let's see, I got an alternator, 70757675. I just think it's neat. Bunch of trinaries. 1s, 3s, and 7s. 1s, 5s, and 6s. 4s, 5s, and 8s. 1s, 2s, and 5s, 2s, 4s, and 7s, 1s, 4s, and 7s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, and then some quad. No, this one's still, you know, 0. Is that quads? Yeah, that's quads. Quad 3s. Just a word again on those trinaries. See how many I found in 1,000 notes? They aren't worth anything. If you can find that many, just go buy a strap. You can find them. Trinaries have no value. Can't stress that enough. Quad 3s, quad 4s, quads the same way, also no value. Quad 7s. For those of you who don't believe that quads have no value, the best possible digit you could have is 0, and the best possible placement for that would be if it started 0000. If you have a note that starts with 4 zeros, that would be a fairly low serial number. Yet, a low serial number doesn't have any value unless you have 5 zeros. So if you have the best possible number, 0, in the best possible place in the front, and it's still worthless as far as low serial numbers go, then why would any other quad in any other position have more value? See, there's your proof that quads have no additional value. All right, here's the stars. This is from 2017. Check to see if they're filled. Another 2017A, 2013, rough shape, 2009. And the oldest note I found, this was a 1995. It's got a torn corner. It's from Minneapolis, but just not in the greatest of shape, so that one's probably going to go away. All right. What did I find this week? This week, I'm just going to put this one right here. I'll hold it up for a second. If you want to pause it and take a look at this note and see if you can figure it out yourself, great, go for it. Because this is one of the Holy Grail notes. For me, this was one of the Holy Grail notes. The only thing I could think of better in this category would be a double denomination. A double denomination note would be, it says 5 on the front and it says 10, has the 10 plate on the back. That would be a double denomination. But this particular one, to me, is right underneath it. And once again, before I say what it is, I'll let you see if you can figure it out. Now, I started the video by talking about knowledge and books. And here is one book that's fairly easy to find, United States Paper Money Errors. If you are into collecting errors, you want to have this book. This book goes through, with pictures, all the different types of errors that you can find, tells you a history on them, tells you how hard they are to come by. And more importantly, it lets you know that when you have a note that's slightly off center, it's not worth anything. That's what you want to know. What are the errors that are actually worth something? Great book, United States Paper Money Errors. And there's another error book right here, U.S. Error Note Encyclopedia. First of all, let me show here's the number for this one, because then you can look it up yourself. And for U.S. Error Note Encyclopedia, there is the number there. I don't know if these are out of print yet or not, but they are hard to come by. If you can find these, go for it if you like collecting errors. I got the pages marked on this, so let's go back to the note itself. Did you figure out what the problem is with this note? J36, J35. It's a mismatched serial number. If you didn't notice it looking at the note, that's why these are worth so much. It is very difficult to spot mismatched serial numbers, even when you know what you're looking for, because your eyes just don't focus on such a large number and comparing the two. You literally have to go through one by one. J, 3, 3, 6, 5. So yeah, really difficult to actually find one of these in circulation. I bought this at the show. It's been on my list forever of notes that I wanted to get. Like I said, to me, a mismatched serial number, that's the epitome of errors. The thing with mismatched serial numbers is half the time they are machine problems and half the time they are human error. Whenever you see a mismatched serial number dealing with the end digits, that's mechanical. That's a machine breaking down and not turning the numbers itself. But if you see it in the first portion, that's human error. Every print run is done at about 20,000 sheets, 10 to 20,000 sheets per print run, which means the first 3 digits have to be set by hand. And if the person setting it misses just by 1 digit, that's how you end up with the mismatched serial numbers. Let's take a look at the book. I'm going to start with United States paper money errors, and we go through it here. I think this is the cool one here. I just want to flip to the start of this. Let me just show you how important this book is. Mismatched serial numbers, charter numbers, and block letters, paragraphs and paragraphs about all of that stuff. And then actual charts of the different serial numbers where you can potentially find them, listing all the different denominations, whether they're Federal Reserves, whether they're silver certificates, just so much info. And then you actually get to the notes themselves, and they show prices. Specifically, FRN 1974, the JB block, FRN 1974, the JB block. Mine is 361395, and the one they show here is 361397. So my note is literally 200 away from this note here that they show. I mean, that's pretty cool. Try to show those numbers together. There we are. Anyway, what's it say about that particular note, that exact note? In an EF 40 is what that would be. It says $400. About uncirculated is $500. Choice uncirculated is $650, and gem 65 is $750 on that particular note. I just think that's neat that my note is so close to the one that's pictured. But it's also listed in the other error book. So let's take a peek at that one. This one here is U.S. Error Note Encyclopedia. And this one also contains a lot of that same information, showing all the charts of all the different possible combinations, all of the stuff there. This is where I got the information on which serial number would be human error and which one's mechanical error. And if we look here, you can see the JB block with 36, JB block with 35. This one says in a fine, it's 250. Extra fine they call 500. That would be a grade 40, and choice uncirculated 750. This particular one, probably around that grade 40. It's got a little bit of handling on it, no major creases in it. Look at the back of this one. It's not perfect, maybe a center crease there. But yeah, this is $400 to $500 without a problem. But still, such a cool note. Like I said, there's all kinds of little things that can go wrong. There could be a drop of ink on a note somewhere. You could have a note that's slightly off cut. You could have a gutter fold, all kinds of minor things. But to me, this is as major as you can find when you've got the serial number, the thing that makes it legal to spend. And that's what's wrong with the note. That's a serious error in my opinion. So I was so proud to take this one home. So that's what I got for you guys this week. If you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.